The USA, land of opportunity, beacon of freedom, yet a shadow lurks beneath the gleaming surface, a stark contrast between wealth and despair. Walk the vibrant streets of any major city and you'll encounter them. The invisible citizens, the forgotten ones. They are the homeless, seeking shelter in doorways and under bridges. They are families struggling to put food on the table, working multiple jobs that barely cover the rent. They are the elderly, forced to choose between medicine and meals. America's poverty is a complex issue, woven into the fabric of the nation. It's a stark reminder that the American dream remains out of reach for many. And despite the efforts of presidents past and present, it continues to cast a long shadow over the nation's soul. From the bustling metropolises to the rural heartland, homelessness has taken root across the USA. In cities like Los Angeles and New York City, sprawling tent cities have become a grim fixture of the urban landscape. Families with children, veterans who served their country, and individuals struggling with mental health or addiction find themselves without a place to call home. Each face tells a story of hardship, resilience, and the desperate need for support. Travel to rural America, and you'll encounter a different face of homelessness. Hidden from plain sight, individuals and families seek refuge in cars, abandoned buildings, or with relatives, their struggles often invisible to the outside world. The face of homelessness is diverse, reflecting the universality of this crisis. It's a stark reminder that poverty and lack of affordable housing can affect anyone, anywhere. Why does poverty persist in a nation as wealthy as the USA? The answer is complex, rooted in systemic challenges that have plagued the country for generations. These challenges create a cycle of poverty that's difficult to break free from. One major challenge is the lack of access to quality education and job training. Without the skills and knowledge to compete in today's economy, individuals and families are often relegated to low-wage jobs that barely cover basic needs. Discrimination based on race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic background further exacerbates these challenges. Systemic racism and bias create barriers to opportunity, limiting access to education, employment, and even basic services like healthcare. These systemic challenges create a web of disadvantage, trapping individuals and families in a cycle of poverty that can span generations. At the heart of America's poverty crisis lies a severe shortage of affordable housing. This issue is not just a minor inconvenience. It is a fundamental barrier to economic stability and growth for millions of people. Across the nation, the cost of housing has skyrocketed, far outpacing wage growth. This growing gap between income and housing costs has created a situation where even full-time workers struggle to afford basic living expenses. This disparity has left millions of Americans struggling to keep a roof over their heads. The stress and uncertainty of housing instability can have profound effects on mental and physical health. In many cities, finding an affordable apartment is nearly impossible. The competition for limited affordable units is fierce, often leading to long waiting lists and desperate searches. Families are forced to choose between paying rent and putting food on the table or accessing healthcare. These impossible choices can lead to malnutrition, untreated illnesses, and a cycle of poverty that is hard to escape. This often leads to difficult choices like moving into overcrowded or unsafe housing, or in the worst cases, becoming homeless. The lack of stable housing can disrupt children's education and make it difficult for adults to maintain steady employment. The lack of affordable housing is not just a big city problem. Small towns and rural areas are also grappling with this issue, often with fewer resources to address it. Rural communities also face a shortage of safe, affordable housing options. The problem is compounded by the lack of public transportation and other essential services. This is particularly challenging for low-income families, seniors living on fixed incomes, and individuals with disabilities. These vulnerable populations often have the least ability to cope with rising housing costs. Solving the housing crisis is crucial to addressing poverty in the USA. It requires coordinated efforts from government, private sector, and community organizations to create sustainable solutions. Without a safe, stable place to live, it's nearly impossible for individuals and families to break free from the cycle of poverty and build a better future. Addressing this issue is essential for the well-being and prosperity of the entire nation. Why haven't presidents been able to solve this crisis? While they may declare their commitment to fighting poverty, the reality is far more complex. Political roadblocks often hinder progress and prevent meaningful change from taking root. One major obstacle is the deep partisan divide that characterizes American politics. Issues like poverty and homelessness become entangled in ideological battles, making it difficult to find common ground and enact effective solutions. Furthermore, powerful interest groups often lobby against policies that could alleviate poverty, prioritizing their own agendas over the needs of the most vulnerable. This creates a system where short-term gains often overshadow long-term solutions. The lack of political will to address the root causes of poverty, coupled with the influence of special interests, creates a formidable barrier to progress. Until these political roadblocks are addressed, presidents will continue to face an uphill battle in their fight against poverty. Section 6. The economy's role: wage stagnation and the cycle of poverty. While political gridlock plays a significant role, the economy itself contributes to the persistence of poverty in the USA. The economic structure, with its inherent inequalities, often leaves the most vulnerable behind. Despite periods of economic growth, wages for many Americans have stagnated, failing to keep pace with the rising cost of living. This stagnation is particularly pronounced in sectors that employ a large number of low-wage workers. This means that even those who work full-time jobs are often struggling to make ends meet. The dream of financial stability remains elusive for many as they juggle multiple jobs and still find it hard to cover basic expenses. They are trapped in a cycle of low wages, unable to save money, invest in their future, or weather unexpected financial hardships. This cycle perpetuates generational poverty, making it difficult for families to break free. The rise of automation and the decline of manufacturing jobs have further exacerbated this problem. As technology advances, many traditional jobs are disappearing, leaving a void that is not easily filled. Many low-skill, low-wage jobs have been replaced by technology, leaving many workers without the skills or opportunities to compete in the new economy. This shift demands a focus on retraining and education to equip workers for the jobs of the future. Until the USA addresses the issue of wage stagnation and creates pathways to good-paying jobs, poverty will continue to plague millions of Americans, regardless of who occupies the Oval Office. Comprehensive policy changes and a commitment to economic justice are essential to reversing this trend. Section 7. Expert Voices. A call for comprehensive and compassionate solutions. Experts across various fields agree that addressing poverty and homelessness requires a multi-pronged approach that tackles both the symptoms and the root causes of these complex issues. This means looking beyond immediate relief and focusing on long-term strategies that can create sustainable change. There's no quick fix, but there are solutions that can make a real difference. Community involvement and grassroots initiatives play a crucial role in these efforts as they bring together local knowledge and resources. Economists emphasize the need for policies that promote economic justice, such as raising the minimum wage, ensuring fair labor practices, and supporting small businesses that are the backbone of local economies. Expanding access to affordable healthcare is another critical component. This includes not only physical health but also mental health services, which are often overlooked but essential for overall well-being. Investing in education and job training programs is vital. These initiatives provide individuals with the skills and knowledge they need to secure stable employment and improve their quality of life. These measures would provide a much-needed boost to low-income families and help break the cycle of poverty. Stable housing and safe neighborhoods are foundational to a thriving community. Sociologists highlight the importance of addressing systemic racism and discrimination, which create barriers to opportunity for marginalized communities. This involves not just policy changes but also cultural shifts. These barriers can be dismantled through concerted efforts to promote inclusivity and equality in all aspects of society. They advocate for policies that promote racial equity, such as criminal justice reform, affordable housing initiatives, and community development projects that uplift underserved areas. Access to quality education for all is a cornerstone of these efforts. Education empowers individuals and opens doors to opportunities that can transform lives. The consensus among experts is clear: solving poverty and homelessness requires a comprehensive and compassionate approach that addresses the complex interplay of economic, social, and political factors. Only through a united and sustained effort can we hope to create a more just and equitable society for all. Section 8. A shared responsibility towards a more equitable America. The fight against poverty and homelessness is not just the responsibility of the president or the government, it's a shared responsibility that requires the collective action of all Americans. We must move beyond indifference and recognize that these issues affect us all. We can all make a difference by supporting organizations working on the front lines, advocating for policies that promote economic and social justice, and challenging our own biases and assumptions about those experiencing poverty. Volunteering our time, donating to food banks and homeless shelters, and engaging in constructive dialogue about these issues are all meaningful steps we can take. By working together, we can create a more just and equitable society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Remember, change starts with each of us. Let's choose compassion over indifference and work together to build a brighter future for all Americans. Section 9. Join the movement. Subscribe for more insights and action. This is just the beginning of the conversation. If you're ready to delve deeper into the complexities of poverty and homelessness in America, join our community of changemakers. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content, inspiring stories, and concrete actions you can take. Together, let's amplify the voices of the unheard, challenge the status quo, and create a future where every American has the opportunity to live a life of dignity and hope. Subscribe now and be a part of the solution.